Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to our grand finale. Tonight, we are going to be closing out our Royal Summit, which is Reinvention of Your Awesome Life. And I just want to start off by giving you a little bit of a recap from last night. In case you missed it, you're going to have to go to our Facebook group and check out the replay link that we posted there for you. But let me tell you, last night was totally awesome. The fabulous Rhonda A. White kicked us off talking about CEOism. She was dynamite. And then she followed up with Randria Houston, who shared Unleashing Your Movement. Okay? Then we had the illustrious Tony Ellis, which was soul sparking. Soul sparking. And I believe Miss Randria talked to us about making a mental makeover. Am I correct? Yes, I am correct. And then the Dr. Tony Ellis brought us home, hit it out of the park, dealing with our self-worth and coming together as women, connecting and embracing one another, collaborating together, and that's what we are all about. This Royal Summit is about bringing women together, loving on each other, lifting each other up, and covering each other in prayers. So tonight, let me share our awesome lineup with you. I will be kicking it off tonight, and then we'll be followed by the wonderful Bobby Spellman. Then we'll have the beautiful Dr. Chiquita Miller-Nolan, and then Luquita McCarthy will be closing us out and bringing us home. So we are so excited that you took time out of your busy schedule to spend this time with us, and we want you to get your pen and your pad ready. Let us pour into you and ask questions. If you have any questions or thoughts, please share them with us. But let's go ahead and get started because I value your time. I am Niecy Black. I'm the founder and CEO of LifeSmart, and what I'm going to be talking to you tonight about is sisterhood, love and support. Sisterhood, love and support. So what does that mean actually? But before I start there, I want to give a little bit of a disclaimer. The views and opinions that I'm about to share do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of all women. Okay, just get that out the way. But it does reflect the views and opinions of women who are strong, who are determined, who are in their power, and who are willing to reach out and grab another sister by the hand and take them on the journey. Lift them up, if you will. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me get my notes together here. So when you think about a sisterhood, you think about a connection between all women, not just black, white, green, purple, rich, poor, short, tall, all women. We have a connection. That connection is not necessarily all about the anatomy, although we know we give birth, we have the same things. But we have fought side by side throughout generations, bringing our family, birthing our children, striving to make better choices, wanting a better lives for the next generation to come. We are connected in that we have gone through so much adversity, so much struggle, okay? How many of you are out there still bringing home the bacon, frying it up in the pan? You remember that old commercial? You're a single parent and you're holding it down. We have that in common. So when I think about what went wrong, why women are not embracing and loving on each other the way that we have done for generations when we were marching for our rights, when we were trying to get equal pay and the right to vote. We came together then, so what's the difference between then and now? We have the right to vote, yes. You know, we're still not quite there on that equal pay thing. You know, we're still going to have to work on that. But still, what has happened to our women that we cannot join forces? We cannot recognize and celebrate the strength of another woman. We are all in this together. God made us uniquely strength in one area, a little weak in another area. But there's a sister out there that thinks like you, that is stronger in that area that you are weak. And maybe they're weaker in the area that you are strong. You can come together and support each other. So I want to share a quick little story about something that happened to me back when I didn't have any sense. And it's kind of like this. I dated this guy, and he was cute and fine and all of that, but that's totally irrelevant. I was really into him, and he was married. I did not know at the time that he was married. And I got all twisted. And I just happened to meet his wife one day because I went to his apartment, and she answered the door. And I was just, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say, and I froze. But let me tell you something. I learned that woman had the most gentlest spirit. Her personality was warm and caring and loving and kind. Everything, she was everything that I wanted to be. I saw that strength in her meekness. I saw the courage and how strong and elegant and poised and graceful she was just by the way she carried herself and the way she spoke to me. And I wanted that. So of course I didn't tell her anything about it, but it stuck with me. It stuck with me. All of the things that he said was wrong with this woman, I found I wanted to be. So why can't we look at other women and see their strength, see what they got going on, and say, you know what, I want some of that. I can't be just like her, or I can't do just like that, but I can do the best that I can do, and I can celebrate me. That comes with having that mental mind makeover that the doctor at Rendrian was talking about yesterday. The way we think, the way we feel, the way we respond to things, the way we look at each other, that all affects us, and affects our girls, our little girls, our granddaughters, our nieces. You know, we've got to learn how to embrace each other. Look and seek and find the beauty in your sister. Celebrate that. I have 3 things that I wanted to share with you specifically about sisterhood. Now, we know, and I'm not suggesting that we be a doormat for other women, and I'm not naive enough to think that every woman is just going to, you know, sit around and sing kumbaya and have the warm fuzzies for each other. I'm not that naive to think that. But I do believe that every woman is in a different stage and at a different state in their life, okay? Some of the things, or at least 3 of the things that I want you to think about. So like I was saying, not every woman is in the same place that you are, whether it's spiritually, mentally, financially, or emotionally, whatever it is. They're just not. And it's not that they don't want to be, they just don't know how. They have that yearning inside of them that there's something more, that there's something better. They just don't know how to get there. So I suggest that we cover them. Those women that are trying, those women who are diligent, they want to, they just don't know how. Let's cover them, lift them up. Step up out of our little comfort zone and don't have a holier than thou, you know, big I, little you mentality, but embrace them and love. Help them see their beauty. Help them see their worth by sharing affirmations with them. Those women are in a state I like to call, who am I? Who am I state? I want to know, I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to do better. I just don't know who I am. I'm struggling to find my purpose and my identity. We can help them. We can share our stories. We can make a connection, and we can let them know that we are there for them. We are their sisters, and we are there to help them find their way. The second stage I like to think about is certify her. That's the woman that is wondering, am I enough? So she's gotten past that who am I stage, and she's just wondering, am I enough? Okay, we can certify her and support her efforts to make her better, to help her be better, show other ways. See, women, we often feel rejected by other women. I know there's this thing that people have said for a long time, that women don't dress up for other men. They dress up for other women. They're looking for affirmation or some type of certification or some type of, you know, positive, I got you, from their sister. So this woman is in the I am enough state. Am I enough? I'm trying, I'm doing, I'm learning, I'm growing. I see the changes in my life. I've got this action plan that I'm walking out, but am I doing enough? Am I doing it right? Sister, I don't know. Will you help me? Yes. That is our responsibility, is to help them. So help them push through. Help them with affirmations that they are enough, that they've got everything that they need already, that they're moving in the right direction, and you're cheering them on, you're supporting them. When a woman is strong and when a woman is confident, she don't need as much acknowledgement. Yes, the praises are good, but she is in her own. She's standing in her own power, in her own strength. So she may not need as much accolades, so to speak, as the woman who is trying to get there. Does that make sense? So the third phase I like to say is celebrate each other. We are the women who are at the point where, oh, we know we are enough. I am enough. I got it going on. I'm helping my sister. I'm supporting. And when we get to that stage, we know that we are doing better. We're succeeding. We're looking at the fruits of our labor. And we are a cheerleader for those women that are coming and that we're bringing with us. Does that make sense? So take a pledge that you are going to dedicate some time. Recognize the beauty in someone, some woman who is struggling. Not the, I feel sorry for you. Don't go there. We want to feel sorry. We want to feel love and genuine support. Get rid of the stereotypes, the old mentality. Get that paradigm shift going in your thinking so that when you start thinking better, you start doing better, and you could reach out a hand and help another sister along the way. Thank you so much. I am going to turn the floor over to the awesome Bobby Spellman, and she is about to pour into you like nothing else. Go ahead, my sister.
Hello, family. It's so great to be here, just sharing with everyone and just getting completely poured into. It's been so amazing over the last 2 days, just sharing with one another as we were preparing for you all, and your royal court was getting everything taken care of. But it just, comes down to, how do we support each other as women? What are we doing to enlighten each other and encourage each other? And I think a lot of what I take away is how we get to our vision. How do we take all of those things that were learned and are being poured into us and get to the vision part of it? The part is that's going to get us moving and motivated, that's going to show us, what our values are and where we need to be. That is going to help us create, that vision, that purpose, and that prosperity in our lives. As you can see behind me, I have a vision board up. It's a vision board that I use mostly to show people, this is a setup for a vision board, because I'm amazed at how many people don't necessarily know what one is. But when you're establishing your vision, some people are very visual. I am a very visual person. I need to see things in front of me because it keeps me focused, it keeps me motivated, and every day I know where I'm going and what it is that I need to be looking at. It's just nice to know that there are so many people out there who are trying to grow, but we tend to get so wrapped up in our everyday that we lose focus on what needs to get done to grow our vision or to seek or find our vision. We really need to start establishing some time for us, getting to know who we are, setting aside that time that when somebody says to you, it's a common question, we've all been asked it at least a million times, what would your life look like if you had no limits, if you had no boundaries? How would you be able to function in your life? What things would you go out and try to do? Think big, dream big when you're thinking of that response. It should take you more than the time it took you to pick out those Louis Vuitton shoes, or more than the time that it took you to pick out your favorite car that you're, driving around and it was your dream car. This is our life, and our visions are fluid. It gives us that movement. It gives us a reason to be. So when I think of my vision and I think of, what is feeding my vision, what's fueling my vision, for myself is going to be my family. I have 4 beautiful children. I'm a single mom. I have always worked since the day I got out of high school. Actually, before getting out of high school, I've always worked. And that's what my life was. My life was, I am working. My life is, I'm taking care of children. I'm running back and forth. I need to go to school. And everything became its own little compartment. So I lost sight of my vision. I lost sight of how to obtain it, how to even get started or nurture it even. It's very important that we do that, that we nurture that side of us. It is vital. You know, if we don't have a vision and it doesn't have a purpose, then it's fruitless. We're not going to be able to. It's like faith without works. We're not going to be making things happen in our lives, which causes us to, you know, spiral downward. We're in depression. We're frustrated. We're taking it out on, you know, the sisters that we're supposed to be loving up on and supporting. How? We've lost sight of our vision. We've lost sight of that freedom part of us. So taking that time out to really connect with ourselves and to establish that vision, being specific about it. My overall vision is very it's very hierarchy when it's on my vision board, but I also keep a journal where I'm talking to myself about those things. I'm setting those goals and I'm defining what those things mean to me. You know, it's your health, it's your finances, it's building businesses, it's creating community organizations or being part of community organizations, raising children that are responsible and respectable. All of these things become a part of our vision. They're a part of our lives. They're a part of who we are on a day-to-day basis. You can't really separate from them. But if you think about it and you sit down and you take the time to say, overall, this is where I am in these things. Some women are knocking it out the ballpark. Everything is going great for them. Life is stellar. Their relationships are fine. Their health, their, you know, careers, everything is working out for them, but they want something more. Maybe they want to strive to, you know, that next level in life, something about them that wants to be peaceful and not necessarily just continuing to look for something else. They want to be content at where they are. There's, like Nisi pointed out, there's the women who need to be poured into. They don't know what they're looking for because a lot of us just don't take the time to sit down and, you know, really think about where we are, think about what our vision is and how we can get to it. The next thing that it always flows into for me is the purpose behind those things.
Bobby?
Yes.
We can't see your picture, just so you know. We can't see you.
You can't. Oh, you can only hear me talking. I'm sorry. Yeah. My thing is not it has my camera on.
I know everybody wants to see your beautiful face, but I will let you know.
Yeah, I was just loving up on my voice. I love that. Thank you. Is it on? Can you see me now?
Not yet.
What about now?
There you go.
Oh.
We can see you now.
You can see me now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm sorry about that, ladies. Okay, so we're all good?
We're good.
So we were leading into purpose. Are we good still?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So leading into purpose, you know, is really wanting to define those things. So you figured out, you know, establishing your vision. You figured out where it is that you're looking to be. You figured out where you want to go, what you want to be doing. And don't get me wrong, you haven't figured it all out. You know what things you want to be addressing once you sat down and gone through, you know, a process. It's a come to Jesus meeting with yourself. You know, we need those. We need to be in touch with ourselves. Once you have established those things, you really want to be focused on what are the purpose for these things in my life? What do they mean to where I am right now? What can I be upgrading? What can I be changing? What can I declutter, as one of my sisters said yesterday? What can I remove from my life that is just causing too much flux? It's not necessary. It's, you know, that extra stuff. Because when we define our purpose, we get to understand, okay, that was my vision, but this is what it means for my life. So now I can start setting smart goals to get there, to attain those things, to knock them out the park, to be excellent at whatever it is I'm choosing to do. We're just now coming off of, you know, that time is February. So we're just coming out of the Happy New Year. Everyone was doing their New Year's resolutions. I changed that this year. This year was the year of execution for me. I'm going to do great things. I'm going to support my sisters. I'm going to love up on my community, continue to feed and pour into my children. And it took going back to establish my vision, figure out what purpose those things had in my life, and effectively moving forward. No more resolutions, just real solutions. What can I do to make those things happen? What can I do to knock those things out of the park? How am I executing with these things that are going to be what I need out of life, my vision in life? And then you have your prosperity, and it's a natural overflow. Again, as one of my sisters said in yesterday's talk, it is literally about the overflow in your life. When you're doing what you need to do for you, your family, your community, the people around you, it's a natural overflow into your prosperity. Prosperity for me, again, I love, the way we define words really has a purpose in our life. Prosperity for me is not about the finance end of things. Prosperity for me is about the people that I love, or the people I cherish, and the communities that I support are thriving. And they're thriving because I'm supporting them. I'm showing how to close gaps. And I'm, moved by those things. That's the part of my life that gives me prosperity. So, just to close, it's been an awesome experience. It's a new journey for me. So I'm very much in tune to my vision, very much in tune to what my purpose is here. And I'm very much in tune to the fact that that purpose and that vision are fluid, and they can change at any moment depending on the people who come across our paths. And with all of that said, my prosperity is just reached a whole new level. So I'm going to be turning it over to the fabulous, I'm sorry, ladies, I get nervous and I just keep talking. So I'm going to be turning it over to the fabulous Dr. Chiquita Miller-Nolan, who's going to be talking to us about taking off the limits. Again, that unlimited life, just taking off the limits and going for the goal. Chiquita, it's all yours.
Thank you, and that was an awesome handoff. I tell you, I'm excited over the fact, just the whole, everything we're doing right now, I'm grateful for. I'm excited over totally reinventing your awesome life, being a part of that transition for you, being a part of even this awesome team that's helping make that happen. Everyone has spoke so beautifully from their hearts, and just pouring into you what God would give us to give you. Even Nisi kicking it off today with the sisterhood and love and support, and then Bobby just totally helping us to realize how to set a vision with unlimited thinking, even in that whole concept. And that's where I want to come right in on that. I want to chime in right there with taking the limits off. And when I'm talking about taking the limits off, there's 3 areas I'd like to focus on. And those 3 areas are, it's the triple A is what I call it. It's actions, accusations, and assumptions. So if you're going to take the limits off of your life, first I want you to get over any actions that happened in the past. Everything that's behind you is just that. It's behind you. So don't get lost in it. Don't get stuck with it. Don't beat yourself up over bad decisions that you made. Don't limit yourself in your future because of what's happened in your past. So many times, I met a young lady just the other day who was totally shocked at the fact that this wonderful young man wants to marry her. And they're engaged and they're going through with it, but she's nervous. And I asked her, well, sweetie, why are you nervous? Do you not think this is the one? She said, I know I can't have anybody better. I love him. I wanted him. I just didn't think I deserved him. Her words shocked me, and I was like, well, why don't you think you deserve it? She said, you don't understand. I was a teen mother. I got pregnant at this age. I just never thought that I would get somebody who would be this good. She didn't think she was worthy. She had limited to herself to a certain type of man that she thought she would have, and yet God is blowing her mind. If you just take the limits off, you never know what God will have for you. So here she was stuck on thinking she had to live a certain way because of something that's happened in her past. I told her, sweetie, everybody living has something that we did that we could be ashamed of. Don't shake the closet. Don't wake it up. Don't go in there and pull nothing out that we all are glad is covered. Come on, somebody. I'm not trying to preach, but I'm just talking real talk. And then the other thing that limits us is things that we've experienced. It may not be what you've done, but it could be what's happened to you. It could be an experience, a bad relationship, something that happened at a job, or something that happened in the family, or what have you. And before you realize it, you'll start treating everybody new that comes into your life like they're the person who did that one bad action to you, just because they may have the same name. You may run into Tammy here, and it was Tammy who did it there, and now you prejudged and come up with a preconceived idea and set a limit on what can happen with this Tammy. And this, Tammy, may be key to where you're going. So when you're taking the limits off, I want you to get rid of all those restraints, all those things that are holding you back and keeping you from your destiny, from the things that God has for you. The other thing is the accusations. Oh, now we could stay here a long time, but we're not going to. But I just want to hit it good enough for you to realize accusations are what others say about you. And you know, this is the thing I really want to help you with. People have started talking about you before you did anything. I want that to marinate just for a second, and I'm going to let that linger. Okay? When I say they talked about when you were sitting in the nursery at the hospital and they came and peeped through the glass, you hadn't done anything to anybody. And all they did was walk up to that glass and say, "Ooh, look at that baby. Ooh, she got a big head. Ooh, that's big feet. Ooh, look, you didn't do anything to anyone." And guess what? When you pass away, you're going to be laying stretched out in a casket, not doing anything to anybody. And somebody is going to walk by that casket and say, "Oh, I didn't like that lipstick. Why they put that dress on her? They could have fixed their hair a different way." You don't have to do anything for people to put their mouth on you. Hear what I'm telling you. Don't limit yourselves to what you hear people saying about you. The thing you want to do is stop and realize, well, God, who do you say I am? Because in the end, that's all that matters. You are here because there's an answer to something that you're supposed to meet in this earth. And because of that, you can't limit yourself to what other people think you should be doing. And people will think that because of the side of the tracks you were on, because of what bloodline you came through, because of who you connected to, what school you went to. I mean, the job you work in, what degrees you have, what degrees you don't have. People will limit you because of your gender, because of your race. But sweetie, take the limits off. I know that we're so used to that glass ceiling, and when we hear a glass ceiling, the first thing we think of is women in the corporate society. But quite truthfully, what glass ceiling are you hiding under? What glass ceiling are you stuck under? What is it that's invisible but is yet holding you down? Here it is, you know there's something in you that wants greater and wants more, but you're scared to have it because of where you're at, where you've been. That's where the assumption comes, assuming that you can't have what you really want because of where you're at right now. You might be, turning fries at McDonald's right now, but on the inside of you, you know you should be owning McDonald's. And if that's the case, then get the limit off of you. Right now, McDonald's is just going to help you learn what you need to learn so you can go open up your own. I mean, really, you've got to think that way. Don't stop at the fact that you were in the projects or that you have gone through one thing or you came through this or I may not know how to do this. Now it's so much learning that is at your fingertips, the World Wide Web. You can teach yourself. You can get with somebody. I have told my children all their lives, show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. And it's the same way with wherever you want to go. You get with those people and you surround yourselves with them. I challenge you, don't you dare die better than you lived. What do I mean by that? There's somebody who is not going to own property until there's a plot in a cemetery. There's somebody who will never take a limo ride until they're being driven to their funeral. There's somebody who will never own a brand new suit until they put it on to lay in a casket. Somebody will never have somebody else do their hair until they're getting ready for their farewell. Y'all better hear me. They'll never have flowers until that moment. Don't you dare die better than you live. Take the limits off. So what, you may not have the money to go buy that house right now. Baby, you keep dreaming. Bobby showed you that vision board. Get the picture of the home you want. If you can't afford, you don't have the right kind of car to get through that gated community, go rent your car, borrow a suit, and walk on through that gate and go look at the houses. Take a picture of those in mental mind notes of the crown molding that you see and those marble floors and the heated floors, whatever it is. Visualize, but take the limits off. And when you take those limits off your mind, when you expose yourself to more, when you begin to think that you can have more, you will have more. Change happens mentally. They've said it, and it's so true. It happens on the inside before it shows up on the outside. There's no way you're going to make it happen on the outside. If you do it if you do it in reverse, it's only going to be temporary because you won't know how to maintain it and you won't know how to keep it. But once you get that thing happening on the inside of you, I'm better than this. I deserve better than this. See, when you get that I'm better than this attitude, you won't stay in an abusive relationship. Ask me, I know. When you get that mentality, you won't stay in situations that hold you down because something on the inside of you says, I'm better than this. I can have better, and it's time for me to get better. I'm a child of the King. I am royalty. I am a royal priesthood. Before you know it, you pop your own collar. Walk on out the door and tell McDonald's goodbye and go start your own over here. Even if it's selling fish sandwiches in your own kitchen. Come on, somebody. You will work your way out. And that is really what happens when you begin to think about it. I want to say this and I'm going to turn it over, but if you look at the people who could have limited themselves, Walt Disney, I'll just go right there with him. Walt Disney is the one. I often wonder how the man feels who told Walt Disney he was too stupid to hire for or work for a newspaper company. Yeah, we're talking about the one who came up with Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and Disneyland and Disney World and all of that. If you let somebody limit you, no telling what the rest of the world will be missing out on. Take the limits off and be free to be who God created you to be. And I am excited I get the opportunity to turn this over to my awesome sister, Laquita McClary. Laquita, it's all yours.
Thank you, Chiquita. Thank you so much. I am so excited about just being here tonight. I'm just so thankful for all the women that have gone before me. They have brought some awesome messages, and I hope that you have been blessed by them. Tonight I'm going to talk to you a little bit about sustaining your life makeover. You ask, some people ask, what is a 24-hour makeover? And I say a 24-hour makeover are those makeovers that you get in, the high-end department stores. You go there and they make you all up, and you leave. You may pay, or they may, even do it for free. But the makeover is done within a day or so, And so I always watch this show. I can't think of the name of it, but anyways, it's the show that makes you over. So, yeah, I need to calm my nerves. But the show, someone nominates you, or you write in and you say you want a makeover. So they doll you all up. You go in. Some people be looking a hot mess. You go in, they make you up, and by the end of the show, you looking real good on the outside. A 24-hour makeover is that big chop. The one that we say set us free. This is my public service announcement about the big chop. It will not set you free. It may look good, you may feel good, but just merely chopping your hair off, making your face up, or changing your clothes, that alone is not going to make you over. Now, it's okay to want to look good, but to be truly made over, you got to start from the inside out. You're going to have to do some work. A lot of women and a lot of us walk around talking about we just got our face beat. While on the inside, we looking like Freddy Krueger. We carrying around a whole bunch of garbage. I know that someone is supposed to hear my voice, so I'm not going to dance around the message. I'm not going to sugarcoat the message. I just want to bring what it is that God wants me to tell whomever is listening. See, I've had so many 24-hour makeovers. Why? Because I didn't want to do the work. See, when I started being molested at the age of 5, someone took my power. They stripped me of my value, my self-worth. I lost my voice, I was paralyzed, and I was crippled. I didn't get the help that I needed as a child. And there was nothing that I could do about that. But as I got older, I had a choice. I had the choice to choose to get help. I had the choice to choose to move past it, to be healed, to take my power back, to be set free, to ignite my voice. But I didn't. I didn't for a long time. I chose to be a victim, to waddle in self-pity sometimes, to be angry, bitter, promiscuous, hurt, broken. I continue to have those 24-hour makeovers because what I wanted wasn't what God wanted. I wanted to seek revenge of my own self because of what this guy had stolen from me. Now, don't get me wrong, I tried. I tried a little, but it was a little less painful for me to stay in my comfort zone. But when I think about it, we actually never have a comfort zone. And I'll tell you why. Because struggling with the effects of sexual abuse, depression, suicidal thoughts, low self-esteem, physical abuse, or whatever it is that you may be struggling with is not comfortable. So either way, you are not comfortable. You're just merely stunting your growth. That's all you're doing. Because you don't want to take the time to do the work that it takes to change. And neither did I. So I'm going to tell you the story that happened to me a few short months ago, back in October. I called this woman on the phone about this book project that I seen on Facebook. When I called her, I wanted to be really professional, and I wanted her to know that I was established. I was a licensed professional counselor. I own my own counseling agency. I owned a beautiful home, and I was married, and I had 3 beautiful children. Well, this woman on the other end, she started asking me a series of questions. And I started looking at the phone like, I didn't call you for that. That's none of your business. And I started getting a little defensive, you know. That's how we do when we don't want to own up or take ownership for our ish. So let me remind you that I called her trying to use my proper professional voice. And by the end of the call, she said, "You sound like you want to cry." And so I busted out in tears. I started doing a real ugly cry. But I was so thankful that nobody else was in the living room with me when I was talking to her. But while I'm trying to tell her about my outside, what I have on the outside, I was still dying in the inside. And so God knew that I was going to make that call. He knows everything about us. And a couple of weeks before I made that call about being on this book project, some things started transpiring in my life, and I had no idea where this was coming from. I couldn't fathom any of these things ever happening. I was confused, and it was just a lot of things going on. But God, when I tell you, God has been trying to get my attention for so many years. And like Jonah, I ran, I ducked, and I dodged. But after that phone call, I totally surrendered. I asked God to set me free, and I asked God to make me over from inside out. Now, if you missed part 1 of this summit, you're going to have to catch the replay for this. Because after I totally surrendered, I became the CEO of my life. I took ownership of my life. I lost some childhood friends, and unfortunately, we didn't just part ways like Rhonda and her friend. I had to get like Donald Trump and say, "You fired." Then those distorted thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, they started to change. I started to think differently, making different decisions. My decisions, people around me wasn't comfortable with. They were uncomfortable, but I realized that I didn't have to carry the weight of other people, that it wasn't my responsibility. My self-worth and my self-value, it just started to soar and skyrocket. And you know, sometimes the journey can be lonely, but God connected me with other women who celebrated each other. These women used their words and their actions to build me up, to build each other up. They offered love and support, and it happened just like that. Like Mama D said, in that order. I kid you not. Yesterday was an all-star lineup because as I started listening, I'm like, well, this is everything that happened to me. This is every stage that I went through from beginning to end. But it didn't stop there. I started seeing the vision that God had created for me. I started gaining clarity around my life, my marriage, my children, finances, and my business. I started taking the limits and the labels off. You know, God, He doesn't want us to live weak or wimpy, timid or fearful. God wants us to be bold and beautiful. He wants us to live on purpose and to live out loud. He wants us to live fearless. And when you start to step out and you start to change, you will feel fear. But do it anyways. That's having courage. Be bold. Walk boldly in who you are. Sustaining your life makeover isn't going to work. If you don't take the necessary steps to continuously do and work on yourself. Work on what it is that you have changed and continue out that process. If you've been depressed and you've changed and you've did the necessary steps to start enjoying life, don't go back to being depressed. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Sustaining your life makeover. It's not quitting when you want to give up and the odds are against you. You may not get the pat on the back that you want. You may not get the pat on the back that you think you deserve, but keep pressing forward. Sometimes you want to look back. You want to go back to what you used to doing. But I challenge you to keep moving forward and allow yourself to be made over from the inside out. When Lot's wife looked back, she turned into a pillar of salt. So let your past be your past and stop looking back at stop looking back at what used to be. You never know when God is going to bring things full circle. The people that you're looking back at or the things that you're looking back at, they may come back around. I'm definitely praying for my best friend's inner makeover because she will be a force to be reckoned with when she's ready. Isaiah 45:2 says, I will go before you and I will level the mountains. I will break down the gates of bronze and cut through the bars of iron. God said it. Therefore, you don't have to be afraid because He's going to go before you. Now, He's not going to give you a roadmap or a blueprint for the next 5 to 10 years because you're going to have to trust Him. You're going to have to trust His word. You're going to have to lean on His word. Have faith and put that faith into action while knowing that God has already leveled the mountains. Just like that phone call I made to April, God already knew I'll be calling. He went before me and was waiting on the phone call. Opening up about sexual abuse was not easy for me. It wasn't easy at all. I quit that book project 2 times because it stretched me. I cried for months. I was stuck. I couldn't write. I wrote for 2 years straight getting a master's degree, but I couldn't write one chapter. I couldn't get a little bit paragraph here and a paragraph there, and I just couldn't put pen to paper. But God sent a few supportive women to hold me accountable to sustaining my life makeover, to setting myself free. And my very own royal sister, Niecy Black, she got up with me one morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. And she said, you talk and I'll type. I did more crying than talking, but we got through it. And I finally completed my chapter. And the freedom that I felt has been so overwhelming. I feel set free. And I just challenge you just to set yourself free from whatever it is that you feel like is holding you back. We don't know what your internal struggle is. And before my interior makeover, I didn't want to work with anyone that had been sexually abused. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't because I hadn't dealt with my own issues. But I'm here to let you know that each and every woman in this royal court is committed to helping you sustain your life makeover. And I will leave you with this quote from Maya Angelou. As soon as healing takes place, go out and heal somebody else. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I am, again, Laquita McClarity. I'm the owner of Full Circle Youth and Family Services. You can reach me on Facebook, Full Circle Youth and Family Services. or Twitter at Full Circle Youth and Family Services. And I'm just so elated today because Rhonda, Tony, Dr. Jatan, Nisi, and I are all part of this book collaboration, A Fabulous New Life. And we actually got to see the book cover, like a finished project today, and it was just awesome. So I guess we're opening it up to any questions that anyone may have. Do you have any?
One question was that how often are we going to be doing this? Because your transparency really struck a nerve, and I'm sure a lot of us here have experienced some of what you have experienced, and so people need to continue the conversation because not everyone has talked it out yet. So I don't know who could in this group address that. We had not planned to do this, weekly or anything, but we are discussing some things behind the scenes to bring this to you in a bigger way.
Yes, I definitely agree.
Tell them if they are listening to the call, make sure that they go into the group, the event page, and just follow us there until we can give them more information. Is that good?
Yes. Well, I just wanted to just thank everybody for coming. I just want to just pray a special prayer over everyone, and I just thank God for just bringing us all together as sisters. We don't all know each other, but we came together just to deliver God's word and just to heal people that need to be healed, and just to allow women to know that there is support out there, that we do support one another. And Lord, we just thank you for his word, and we just thank you, and sometimes we just have to give thanks. And I'm just so thankful just for being set free, because there wasn't any time, I think it's the first time I've ever talked about this without crying. I said, I'm not going to any more events because I cry every time I talk. So I'm just so happy that I just got through this, just to share my message and just to be able to be transparent. And so thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you. I think, one more thing, I think each speaker is going to give their contact information. Then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. My name is Rhonda A. White. You can follow me on Facebook as Rhonda A. White, or my regular page is just Rhonda White, and there's no H in Rhonda. Also, you can find me, my website is rhondaawhite.com. See you online.
Okay, so our second speaker last night was Randrea Houston, and I know you can reach her at unleashyourmovement.com. And I am Tony Ellis, and you can reach me at www.soulsparking.com. I look forward to connecting with all of you.
Hi, ladies. It's Dr. Jatan Thompson. I can be reached at www.thecommendhernetwork.org. Actually, commendhernetwork.org, no the. And you can also reach me at www.drjatan.com. And thank you again, ladies, for attending. And I'll allow the next speaker to introduce herself.
Nisi, you're muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Am I muted now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That's better. I am Nisi Black, and you can reach me at www.nisiblack.com if you'd like to get in touch with me. I'd be so honored to serve you. And next in line, I believe we have Ms. Spellman.
My microphone. Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for just spending some time with us. I can be reached on Facebook at Bobby Spellman. Just no, I'm sorry, BOBBIESPELLMAN. Or you can also look at my organization page, which is A Woman's Worth International. So a woman on Facebook as well. A Woman's Worth INTL. Thank you, and have a great evening.
And I am
I want to say goodbye. Where are you? Are you there?
Who are you asking for?
Miss Chiquita?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, can we see you?
Is my camera not on?
Now, there you go. Technology.
You see me? However, you can follow me on Facebook. My private page or my personal page is Chiquita Miller, and I have a page called God's Girl Ministries, and it's God's Girl singular. I'm one of His girls, and everybody who joins me is another one. And my website is www.godsgirlministries.com. Oh, Nisi, are you talking? You're muted.
I was. I just wanted you to kind of wrap it up and say goodbye to everybody and thank everybody for coming, and we appreciate the opportunity to serve and sow into them.
And I will gladly do that. We really do thank everyone for participating. Thank you for joining us in the Royal Court. And I am so thrilled for all of who have been a part of the Royal Court. If you got nothing else from this, I really do pray that you have learned how to reinvent your awesome life, because your life is awesome. And all you have to do, anything you don't like, you can reinvent it. I used to do hair for years, and I told them, if you can't grow it, sew it. You can't do it, glue it. You know, so whatever you want, you reinvent it and make it what you want it to be. And so we hope that we've said something that's going to be life-changing for you, that you can carry on and help somebody else. Hashtag Royal Summit. Tell everybody how awesome it was, what you got out of it. Even get on our page, and if you would, just kind of let us know what, on the event page, kind of let us know how you got some help, and just give us some feedback. As you can see, this was our first round out the gate doing this, so we would love any feedback that'll help us be better, so that we can do more for somebody else at a better time. So thank you for everything. Thank you for your time. Thank you to my Royal Sisters. And y'all have a wonderful time. God bless.